So, the first anime of Winter 2014 finally comes to a conclusion. I want to take a look back at Inari Konkon and see what did I like, dislike, and do I feel like I should recommend the series to other people. So, let's take it in different aspects. Inari Konkon has pretty much been nothing but a relaxing, average series. Now, when I say average, I'm going to say this is a very average series. I mean, it was really nothing new brought to the table in this series. There was nothing new that stood out among the other anime of this season. And I'm not going to say that even though this anime was average, that it was a bad anime. I mean, there's a bunch of different examples from this anime season that's had some really bad average anime that's just been cliche. But even though there were some cliches in this anime of Inari Konkon, I felt like it did a good job for the little airtime it had. It had 10 episodes. I guess there was some forced character development in this series, and also the pacing felt a little bit too quick. But all in all, I enjoyed the atmosphere and the actual relaxing tone this series really gave me. Now, a lot of the main focus of the series was supposed to be on Inari and Tambabashi and their relationship growing, and also getting to settle the matter with Uka and Inari. So really, did any of the actual major plot get settled by the end of this series? I'm gonna say no. Yes, we got Uka's power back, and Inari did grow as a character to where she gave up divine power and actually accepted for who she was. That was major character development. I'll give it that. This series managed to progress Inari in a good direction, but it didn't actually focus on the major subject of what this series should have been about. It should have been about Tambabashi and Inari and their relationship growing, the romance starting. Even though the series should have been focused on that, there was not a lot of moments on that. Yes, there's been some hints, and also it's pretty much the way the series is going. Inari and Tambabashi would have eventually gotten together, but truthfully, in anime form, we did not get to see the actual conclusion of their romance, so that was upsetting. We also have a couple of other pairs in the series, like Uka and Toka. Really good pair. I love the way they act to each other, and a lot of people probably did not like Toka as a character. They thought he was just a jerk, mean, and evil. But I mainly looked at him for the course of this entire series as a tsundere. But looking at the series, I felt like the most interesting couple, to be truthfully honest with everybody, was Uka and Toka's relationship, because they were just unique in this series and definitely added a different spice and flavor to Inari Konkon. Even though this was mainly a relaxing, average series at heart, something with Uka and Toka really made the series a lot more enjoyable when those two were on the screen. There was another couple that was introduced in the middle half of the series, Keiko and Sumizomi. Now, really, this couple right here, I don't really know how to take it. I'm a big fan of Yuri couples, yes, but there's a couple problems with this. The entire aspect of where Sumizomi loves Keiko for some reasons, I think it's because of Keiko reminds her of an anime character or whatever, but whatever it was, I felt like the character development in that entire scene was just way too rushed, too forced, but I did enjoy it. Even though there was a lot of problems with that entire introduction of how we get to see the one-sided love of Sumizomi, I felt like it was really enjoyable. I mainly did not really care about Inari and Uka's relationship at the time of the end of the series. I was upset, yes, getting to see Uka disappear and getting to see the tragedy of how the ending of the episode was handled, but I felt like I didn't care. I was mainly more focused on the couple between Uka and Toka. That's who I cared about more, and that's kind of upsetting, really. It is. But now that I've talked about that, what I felt about the series, I want to tell you this. This episode was enjoyable. Even though it didn't have a conclusive ending, even though it was left wide open, I felt like it did enough demonstration with how the growth of the characters of Inari is really accomplished. I mean, we see how she gives up being able to see Uka, but Uka says that she's going to continue watching over Inari for the rest of her life, which is a really touching scene. I expected, honestly, an amnesia trope to where we get to see Inari forget completely about all the gods and she won't remember, and that she just completely loses all her character development. But instead, they did a different route. They actually did a different route that shocked me, because Inari actually remembers Uka, but at the same time, she can't see her. So, this is a really nice, good, bittersweet ending that I think that could leave open and pave the way for a Season 2 of Inari Konkon. I personally have not read the manga, so I don't know exactly how bad they butchered this anime, or if they followed it correctly or not. But I feel like this series does have a chance, maybe, for a Season 2. It really all depends on the reception of the DVDs and Blu-ray sales. But would I watch a Season 2 of Inari Konkon? Yeah, I would. Honestly, I would love to see the relationships grow a lot more. I'm a big fan of romance, a shoujo type anime, so if we got to see the romance grow between all the different sets of characters, I definitely would go back for a Season 2. But honestly, would I take this anime serious? Would I actually put this above any other anime I'm currently reviewing? Would I go out of my way to say that I need to watch this show if it was to get released like a Season 2 tomorrow? I'd probably say no. I really wouldn't, honestly. This is a series that you just take your time when you're bored and don't have a mini series to actually watch, so you watch Inari Konkon. This is going to be my final opinions on this series. Tell me your thoughts on it, everybody. Honestly, I would give it a shot. If you haven't watched a lot of romance shoujo type anime, then I guess this series might be to your liking. A lot of people will probably be very touched how the scenes were handled in this episode. There was some beautiful animation, and the music overall in this series was beautiful. It felt like a very good, standard series that just managed to capture my attention. I didn't drop it, and I don't feel like I ever trashed it at least once, so I feel like Inari Konkon did a good job for what it had and the little time it had. So anyways, everybody, you have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.